Our final guests are Julie Fitzpatrick and Andrew Polk, who will be performing together in Tally's Folly. The New York Times said of Julie's recent performance off-Broadway and Anniversary, Miss Fitzpatrick, as the central character, plays it beautifully. She is a member of the Ensemble Studio Theater and the Rude Mechanical Theater Company in New York, and she performed in the Glass Menagerie at the American Conservatory Theater. Andrew Polk is not only an award-winning actor, he is also the artistic director of the Cape Cod Theater Project, where he has overseen the development of 46 new American plays. Curtain Up called his performance in Mouth to Mouth priceless, and Talkin' Broadway said his performance in Speed the Plow was pitch perfect. He was last seen at the public as Oscar in The Odd Couple. Julie and Andrew, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
What is it like working with Pam Berlin?
Oh, it's pretty amazing. Pam is incredibly intense and focused and brilliant and funny. So our rehearsals have been extremely absorbing. You know, we just have we've dove into the script, and we just take it moment to moment. You know, she's sculpting it with us as we go. It's really been quite incredible. Yeah.
Tell me about your characters, Sally Talley and Matt Friedman.
Well, Matt Friedman is a Jewish immigrant with a mysterious past. That takes place in 1944. He's an accountant, and I say I when I talk about my character, and has a very kind of lonely life in St. Louis, Missouri. This play takes place in a small town in southwest Missouri, Lebanon, in the Ozarks. And so anyway, my character is quite about 42, and he has strong feelings about meeting her, which he did by chance, but he's coming out of his shell in a way. Yeah. And
please tell us about Sally Talley.
So I play Sally Talley. I grew up here in Lebanon, Missouri. I come from a conservative, pretty wealthy family, and I'm a bit of a sore thumb in the family. I don't really fit in, connect with them or my surroundings so much. And this gentleman here brought out something in me that was rather earth-shattering for me. And then time has now passed, and we're meeting again.
Yes, you have quite a well-developed history between the two characters. How did you go about shading the backstory so that it came across during what we see during Tally's Folly?
Well, the amazing thing about Lanford Wilson and the way he writes is he provides pretty much all of it for you.
It's all in the text.
Not only in this play, but this is actually part of a trilogy, which is, and so there's so much information, detailed information, that is provided for us that we really just take those clues almost like a puzzle and fill in the rest of what he hasn't given us. But it's quite a lot of information, and he writes that way. It's a kind of a realistic way of writing. That every single detail has a specific reference. So you have, Pam mentioned that we worked very carefully and slowly in the beginning because what we were trying to do was connect those specific references to something personal.
With the crux of the play being your relationship, did you try to spend time outside of rehearsal to try and build that foundation?
She's a very unpleasant person.
So it's all acting.
Yeah, we try to stay away from each other, actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, we just met last week, so we're but you know, we're having. I'd say we're having a ball, and
I don't like her.
Yeah.
He
acts really well, though, that he does once in a while, so it's nice. You know, we're doing all right.
Yeah.
Your characters have very distinct accents, and they're referenced quite a lot in the play. In fact, most often it seems the characters saying that they don't have an accent.
Right, right.
Could you do a little of the play, or a couple lines of your accents?
Wow. Okay.
All right.
How about that place, right?
The section about
walking. Yeah, you know where it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I walked in the door exactly 30 seconds ago. I walked in the door, Mama and Buddy lit in on me like I was 10 years old, screaming about the communist traitor infidel I'd let in the house. Buddy said he run you off with a shotgun.
He had the large two-barreled weapon, yes, with apertures about like so.
Well, if they knew you were still on the place, they would have Cliffy on you.
But, Sally, one of us had better go for a walk and cool off. Both of us can't be angry.
What better happen is you better march right back up there to your car and head back to St. Louis.
No, see, the way they build these things nowadays really requires gasoline to get them running good, especially Plymouths.
Matt Friedman, you did not run out of gas.
That's an example.
Great. Can you describe a little bit about how you went about getting the accent and what exactly are the accents that you're doing?
Sure. So Pam and Ted had set me up with an accent coach named Eric Singer in the city. Mm-hmm. So I worked with him over the course of 4 sessions, and we broke down this Ozark accent sound, vowels and placement, and how the mouth is held differently with a more southern sound. Mm-hmm. And then I also listened to some audio tapes, audio files from speakers in the region of Lebanon, Missouri. And then just drilled it, just practiced it. Yeah.
You know, for me, it's similar. I went to have a dialect coach in New York that I went to. There's a kind of a combination. It has to do with this character's history because the Jews at that time, they kind of were spread all over Eastern Europe. So he's actually got a German sound, mm-hmm. but with a Jewish kind of music to it. Mm. So it's a combination of the sounds of Germany, but with the Jewish a little bit. So we kind of practice like that. Mm. And that's what I'm working on right now. We're a week into rehearsal, folks. So.
Yes, and thank you very much for being on the spot and doing some of your accent.
Sure.
So you have 2 weeks before Tally's Folly opens. When do you get the feeling that a show is really coming together?
God, that's a good question.
When you learn all your lines.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that happens in fits and starts. You know, there's moments where it's like, oh, okay, so we found that. Okay, I kind of have a sense of this section, but then this next one, not so much. And as we go through it over and over, I think there does start to be a gelling. So, you know, ideally it'll be by the time we open that, you know, that'll all be there.
Yeah, and what's unique, I think, about this play is it's really just one scene.
One long scene.
Long scene. So the flow of it, like she said, is so important. And we're not going to get that till later, but it's just one scene.
Yeah. Between
these two people. It's pretty extraordinary.
Yes, and no intermission.
No intermission, as I point out at the beginning of the play.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck with your coming 2 weeks of rehearsal.
Thank you.
Pittsburgh Public Theater presents Tally's Folly, running November 11th through December 12th. For tickets, call the O'Reilly Theater box office at 412-316-1600 or visit them on the web at ppt.org. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
I'd like to thank all of my guests. Some other fall events include City Theater with the Morini Strad running November 6th through December 12th. Pittsburgh Playhouse Conservatory Theater Company has Camino Real running November 19th through 21st and December 2nd through 12th. And Carnegie Mellon School of Drama has A Midsummer Night's Dream running November 18th through 20th and November 30th through December 4th. Thanks for watching.